Hey guys, Dan Hood, Big DH 2000 here. Little shop tricks and tips video. One thing I've learned doing a lot of stuff with, especially slingshots, as small as they are, and a little more intricate work. Um, I really like, especially when it comes to routing, Dremel, and stuff like that. I really enjoy the battery operated versions. I got a Ryobi battery operated trim router, and I recently, a few months back, acquired a battery operated Dremel. Two reasons I like them: they're a little easier to control. Um, if you put too much pressure on them, they don't have as much horsepower, and you can slow down the bit if you need to. There's a lot of reasons for that. If you've done a lot of work, you'll understand why. But anyway, I won't show you the router. You've seen that before. But I'll show you what happened. I've got this slingshot from Carl, okay, that I'm working on. And along the way, if you look, he did a teardrop and put two different kinds of resin pieces together. The problem is, for some reason, it must have slipped during the gluing, or after he clamped it and left it. The one piece slid down and it left a gap in it. The problem is some glue seeped into the gap. So at first, I was just gonna get rid of the resin and start over. But then I remembered this little set of Dremel bits I got some time back. It's a really weird set. You'll find them online about it. I don't think you can find them at places like Home Depot or anything like that. Um, what they are is that I think they call them diamond tipped. I'm not exactly sure, but they cut anything and everything. Okay. Um, got a real pointy one. And here's my battery operated Dremel. Not much power, not much thing, but several things. You can get up close on it. You can push this bit in even further if you want. You can get up close on it. It's when you turn it on, if you guys know the electrical ones, the ones that got the cord out the back, when you turn them on, they jerk to one side just because there's so much horsepower suddenly going through. Okay. So, like I tell everybody, I like this one when it starts up. Not as much jerk, smooth, low, high. Not much, not much power to speak of, but just enough to get down in this crevice and clean it out. Okay. And once I cleaned it out, as you can see, there's some stuff drizzled down in here. Every once in a while, old Google there, when you look for something, shows you a whole bunch of stuff it thinks you want. And I came across this Starbond. It's actually, they call it black super glue. What it basically is it looks like it's super glue with some kind of carbon suspended in it, real fine carbon powder suspended in it. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, I've been drizzling that in the crack in hopes of making a really clean, nice black line. Um, and so far, what I'm seeing, it's going to be awesome. But the tricks and tips are, I mean, never give up on something. If you're frustrated with it, put it down, leave it somewhere. Okay? Who knows? I mean, I have never put a thin black line in something like this, and this is going to look like it's framed when it's done. I would have never thought to do that if there hadn't been a mistake made. You know what I mean? And now it's probably going to be one of the coolest things I've ever done, and I might start doing this where I put a piece of resin on and then go through and carve patterns with that thing. Carbon copy some patterns on here, draw some patterns on here, dig all of this, drizzle the glue in, and make all kind of cool stuff, you know. Might even figure out how to do a logo with it. You know what I'm saying? So you discover and you learn new things every day. I know I've rambled on a bit. I hope this video helps some of you guys, or you guys get ideas, you know. And these ideas that I develop for slingshots or use for slingshots, some of them come from other places. Like when I did a lot of woodwork, I learned a ton of tricks and I applied a lot of them over here. And I've learned a lot of tricks when it comes to slingshots that I've applied elsewhere. Like my table upstairs, man, some of the finish work I did on it, if I hadn't practiced so hard on finishing slingshots over the years, it wouldn't have looked nearly as nice as it does now. And I would have settled for a lot less than I settle for now. Anyway, tips and tricks. Let's put this. It's a Dremel 7300. Now, I don't recall it being overly expensive. Surprisingly, I picked it up at Walmart. And then these bits were not excessively expensive either. And I recommend, if you don't have the money to buy, say, a spindle sander or some of those other things, you can get away a lot with just a plain old or cheap orbital sander and a reasonably cheap Dremel. And you know, the bits on the Dremel can get expensive, but probably not the ones you're going to be using. So anyway, just some thoughts, guys. Rambling on, closing it down, putting another drizzle of glue on this.